Hey everyone, welcome to another declutter. This one is bronzers and contour highlight palettes. If you haven't seen my very first declutter, which was blushes, go check that out too once you finish this video. I'll have that linked above and down below in the description box. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and thumbs up this video as well. I do all kinds of beauty related content. I did already film my highlighter collection. I think this one is going to go up first though, and the highlighter collection included face palettes that have some bronzers in them. So there are some bronzers that I do use regularly that are in that video, and that should be uploaded this month as well. My bronzer collection is not that big, or at least not as big as a lot of YouTubers' collections that I've seen. So let's just get into this. I'm gonna cover the palettes first. I'm gonna start with this Tarte Park Avenue Princess. This is a great palette to have if you really want a nice variety of shades for your bronzers. Oh look, I still have some highlight swatches on my hand. Sorry about that. If you want some nice highlight shades, matte highlights to set with or to, highlight and contour with, and a contour shade as well as some various bronzer shades. Really been enjoying this palette. I haven't been using it as much as I should have though, and that's the purpose of these declutters, is to give things more love than they have been getting by getting rid of some things that have just been sitting here and being able to start using things that have just been sitting here because I haven't been seeing them. I don't really have a goal for this particular declutter. I'm not trying to get rid of half or anything like that. I just want to get rid of excess that is just not being loved. Hopefully it can go to someone that can give it a little bit more love than it's been getting here. So this one is staying because I do like this palette. This is an IBY Highlight and Contour palette I got in a very early BoxyCharm. It looks very similar to this product that's sitting next to it, which is this Makeup Revolution Iconic Lights and Contour Pro palette. I, however, am probably going to keep the Makeup Revolution one because it does have those cooler shades up in the top corner that I think make that palette a little bit more versatile. So I'm going to keep the Makeup Revolution because I like having a drugstore contour palette option for when I do drugstore videos, and I'm going to keep that. I am going to pass the IBY one on. I actually think this is a pretty nice palette in terms of quality, but I just don't need it sitting here and not being used. Speaking of drugstore contour palettes, this is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in Dulce de Leche. When I first started my channel, this was the only contour palette that I have, so I didn't have that much versatility and I really didn't see the need for a contour palette that much. There's a little bit of kick up with it. It still gives a good result once you tap off your brush. I think I'm going to hold on to this again to have a drugstore option because I don't have that many drugstore contour options, and I like having that. It's good to have options for certain types of videos, and this is a good contour palette as far as performance, so I'm going to hold on to this. These two products are from Benefit. It is the Hoola Zero Tan Lines and the Do the Hoola. This is a liquid product for the face. I never use this product. It's kind of a cream liquid, and I find it's got this weird yellowy tone to it that just doesn't work well for my skin. It tends to go really yellowy, so I am going to get rid of this. I feel like for someone who may not have quite as golden of undertones as I do, this might work, but I feel like it maybe leans more yellowy because I already have golden undertones. So I'm going to part with this item. And this is a deluxe sample too, and I just never use this, so I'm gonna get rid of that. This I just got in a recent BoxyCharm. This is the Beauté Basics Bronze Essentials palette. I get the concept of what they were doing. You can use the matte sections, you can use, I don't know if this is kind of highlightery, golden, or the matte dark part, and you can kind of swirl your brush in it. I found that I couldn't really use it at all without getting this gold part in, and I wasn't really willing to use a small enough brush just to get the small sections that didn't have all that gold in it. So I am going to part with this as well. This is the Hourglass Ambient Luminous Light Bronzer. I love this bronzer. It's a really good one. It's got some reddish undertones in it that I feel make you look really sun-kissed and just naturally radiant yet bronzed. It's just a great bronzer. It's got just enough sheen to it to where it gives you a glow, but it's not an unnatural sheen. I'm definitely keeping this. I really don't like swatching bronzers because you really can't tell what they actually look like on your skin. So yeah, I swatched it. I don't think you can tell anything, but that's what it looks like swatched. It's not that shimmery when you use it with a brush, I promise. This is a deluxe sample of the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Sheer Sun. I think if I didn't have another product that I reach for constantly, I might use this more. I'm gonna just pass this on or get rid of this. I don't really use this as much as I probably would if I didn't have this other product. So I'm just going to pass that on. I don't reach for it. This is the Pure Mineral Glow Bronzing Powder. You can see it's got a nice reddish undertone and a little bit of shimmer in there, but not too much. I hope you can see that. It's really creamy feeling when you feel it with your finger, but it's not a cream blush. I do like this bronzer. I just don't reach for it that much. I'm going to put this in the pending pile for right now, and then I'm going to see how things are turning out as I do this declutter because I like it. I just haven't been reaching for it. But maybe I haven't been reaching for it because I just have too many bronzers in my stash. And once I clear it out, maybe I'll reach for it. But I'm looking at my pile and I kind of know what I'm going to keep and what I reach for. We'll see. I'll just put this right here for now and get back to it. This is the RMS Beauty Buriti bronzer. This is the bronzer I reach for when I am using liquids and creams. This is it, period, and done. It looks really dark and intimidating, but man, it blends in like a dream. It's got just that reddish, beautiful, beachy, sun-kissed undertone. When I tell you this is the easiest thing to buff into the skin and look nice, you can use your fingers or a brush or a sponge. This is such an underrated product in my opinion. It does have a slight sheen to it, but it doesn't look like a sheen on the skin. It looks like just natural radiance. I love this. Love this. I'll have a link to it down below so you can love it too. It's a great product. I got this Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze in Fair to Light not that long ago. I love this bronzer, but I really wish that I had gotten the deeper shade because I think it's got that kind of reddish undertone that I love. This one has just that great neutral undertone that just makes it a really great natural looking bronzer. This is a fabulous bronzer, by the way. If you want an easy product to put on and look natural, if you have fair or light, maybe light medium skin, this is a great one. I definitely want to pick this up in the deeper shade once spring and summer get here. It goes on smoothly, it looks great, looks natural. It kind of reminds me in tone of the Butter Bronzer, I think. I haven't swatched them side by side, let me do that now. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Light Bronzer. I've never gotten another shade of this. No, the Butter Bronzer is a little bit lighter. So here's the Butter Bronzer and here is the Bare Minerals. But this looks great on my skin somehow. My hands are a little bit darker than my face. They both work really well. I'm obviously keeping the Butter Bronzer too. This is one of my favorite drugstore bronzers. It's just a great product. There's a reason why everybody likes this product. The light works great for just a natural bronzed look. For a long time, Too Faced Chocolate Soleil in Medium Deep was my holy grail. And then I started messing around with other bronzers and I kind of put it to the side and then I was trying to use it up again and I hit pan on it. I've tried to scrape off the top. It does have that great reddish undertone, but I just feel like I'm just not getting that much. Oh, no, I don't know. Maybe I am getting some pigment from it now that I see it in that light. So I think I'm going to keep trying to pan this. I don't do Project Pan, but I would like to finish this because it is a really great bronzer that I do love a lot. Yeah, I'm going to keep trying to use that. I guess the scraping did work. I like this. I'm going to keep trying to use this up and keep this in my stash until I finish it. I have two bronzers here from number 7. How great is their packaging? This is drugstore packaging, but it just looks so luxurious. It's this kind of coppery rose gold. This one is in the shade Golden Sand, and this one is in Maple. These are so subtle, but they're really wearable. These are really hard to see on the hand. This one is the Maple, this one is the Golden Sand. I I feel like the Golden Sand has a little more red in it and the Maple's a little more golden. They're really nice and haven't gotten to mess with these that much. So I would like to keep trying these out. I feel like I like the Golden Sand one a little bit more just for my particular skin. So I'm gonna hold on to these and keep trying these out because I haven't gotten to play with them that much. And I think they're really good, subtle yet enhancing at the same time. This Becca Capri Coast bronzer has probably moved into holy grail status. I would like to get a full size of the Bronze Bondi, which is in a palette that I talk about in my highlighter and face palette video. I love the shade of this bronzer. So this is the Capri Coast right here. This is the Too Faced Medium Deep. I feel like there's something about the texture of the Becca bronzers. It's just that perfect texture. It does have a little bit of a sheen to it, but it doesn't look like a shimmery sheen or a fake sheen. It looks like your skin is just healthy and glowy and sun-kissed. I love, love this bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Summer Eclipse bronzer. I much prefer the other drugstore bronzers that I have, and I think it's this Golden Sun that just makes it a little bit too golden. It's just not quite bronzy enough. Just doesn't do it for me. So I'm gonna be getting rid of this one. I think maybe on someone that's a little more fair, this would probably work okay. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in medium, I do believe. Yes, medium. This is my holy grail sculpting powder, contour powder. I just discovered this year, and I don't know if I'm ever going to use anything else. It never applies splotchy. It just looks like the perfect shadow, which is what you want from a contour powder. And it's the perfect shade of grayish brown. It's beautiful. I use it almost every time I contour, which isn't all the time, but this is my contour powder of choice. This is a BoxyCharm item, the Temptu Shimmer Bronzer. I think it's BoxyCharm. I may have gotten it from FabFitFun, but I never reach for it. I use the RMS Buriti bronzer anytime I'm using a liquid product. This is a pretty nice liquid product. I just don't use it, so I'm gonna pass it on. This is a deluxe sample size of Benefit Hoola. This is okay. I just don't use it ever because I've got other products that I reach for. It's just a natural bronzer shade. It's fine. I reach for other things, so I'm gonna pass this on. This could go to someone else. It's a nice little compact size too. All those poor Benefit Hoola products. This is a sample size of NARS Laguna. I got this very recently. I used to use Laguna all the time and then I kind of stopped. So I will probably keep this and hold on to it and see if I use it. I mean, Laguna is cult status, right? So I'll see how much I use this. This is gonna kind of be in testing rotation, I guess. We'll see. I just realized that my favorite contour stick was not in here because it was by my makeup table where I do my makeup. This is the Fenty Beauty Contour Stick in Amber, and this is what it looks like on the skin. Very similar to the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder that you saw earlier. It's got that perfect cool undertone that just creates that shadow on the face. So if you want a great contouring stick, the Fenty Beauty in Amber is perfect if you have a similar skin tone. I actually think it'd be perfect for most people that are maybe light to medium skin tones. It's a really great shade. And looking at what I've kept, I'm gonna pass this pure bronzer on because I've kept enough and I feel like someone else could benefit from this bronzer. So I'm going to gather everything together and we'll go over a summary. The dividing line between what I'm giving away and what I'm keeping. I am giving away 9 and I'm keeping 14. Before I started, I was thinking in my head, if I got rid of maybe a fourth to a third, that would be fine. Since it is contour and highlighting palettes as well as contours and bronzers, it's 3 categories, so I didn't think I was gonna get rid of half. Since I have a few more of one category in here than others, I knew I was gonna be keeping, say, more contours because I don't have that many contours. I didn't do nearly as well in this one as I did my blushes, but that's okay for the reasons that I just mentioned. And I did get rid of a third, although some are deluxe travel sizes, but I'm happy with what I kept and I feel like I kept everything for good reason. I only kept 2 palettes, 1 dual product. I kept 2 contour products that I use regularly. I don't feel like I kept anything too ancillary, if that makes sense. 1 cream bronzer Really, the main category that I kept the most in was bronzers. I don't think that I really did too bad, all in all. I'm okay with having that many. And some of them I feel like I need to keep for video purposes for you guys to compare things, you know, like the drugstore items here. So I feel like overall I did pretty well. So stay tuned for my upcoming highlighter and face palette video. I think you'll enjoy that one. I hope you did enjoy this one and the rationale that I used when I was going through things. And I hope you stick around. If you're not subscribed, I do all kinds of beauty videos. Hit that subscribe button and join the family, and thumbs up this video if you haven't already. If you're not following me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, I'll put those on the screen and in the description box so you can do that as well. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.